In this second demo, we're just going to look at creating basic documents. So I'll go down to my doc and open up Microsoft Word 2011. And when you do that, it automatically takes you into the Word document gallery. And this is your basic Word document, the one sitting over here on the right, or you can choose from multiple options here, different kinds of things. We'll look at those later. Let's just choose the Word document and notice that it comes up with a blank screen. One of the things you can also do is go back and look at what have I worked on recently. So I can go to do an open recent, or I can do a open, and open would take me to my documents, and I could look through my documents for folders or files that I may have here that I can bring in. So that's another way of doing it. So you start with a brand new document, or you work with a document that is a past one that you saved. So when you work with a document like this, and you just start typing information or put text into it, it's just a matter of typing. I'm familiar with that. This is a test. And now that I have some information, I have a document, something's changed, the computer needs to see it saved. So if I go File and Save, it automatically comes up as a DOCX, which is the new format for Office 2011. So DOCX, click on this and I get past looks. I can do 2004 or before, which are the old DOC files. You can do it as rich text format. I can even do it as a PDF file if I wanted to, save it as a PDF file. So in this course, we're just looking at saving things, unless you're told otherwise, saving things in the good old DOCX, the new format, which is good for 2008 and 2011. It'll always take the first line, or the first bits of a line, as the title, but I'm going to change that to document. Where I want to save it, I can put it in my document folder. I can add a new folder in that folder. So if you've never done that, you can do that. So work. So you keep things organized. Create that folder and it automatically opens it up. And I save it. So now it's no longer document 1, it's now test document.docx. Now I'm going to go get some more data and bring it into this document. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've gotten some information that I've pulled down off the internet about covered bridges in Oregon, and we're going to use this for the rest of this demonstration. So I want to get rid of this. This is a test, and to do so it's just a matter of selecting it and hitting the delete key. So I can go down to Checkwood. Notice you can move very easily around by just using your mouse or by using the arrow keys. So I'm at Checkwood, and I'm going to hit the enter back space, so it's at the top. It's at the top of my document. So it's quite easy to move through text. You can select text by clicking and dragging. You can also select text by putting your cursor where you want it to be at the beginning, and then use your shift key and your arrows. Your arrow keys. So I'm moving to the right, I'm moving down, highlight multiple things at one time. So if you ever have a hard time selecting text, using the arrows is a really good way of doing that. Another thing that is very useful is this show hide button up here, this little paragraph. It shows you all your non-printing characters, as it says. Remember, once again, if you mouse over something, stay there long enough, it tells you what that cursor is all about. So here, these little paragraph marks are hidden characters. They're non-printing characters. Notice if I went to the beginning, put my cursor in front of the word this, and I hit the tab key, that it would tab out. A lot of times here now we get this autocorrect option, and see what it says. Change back to tab. Stop setting indent on tabs and backspace. So if I do a change back to tab, it actually shows it as a tab, which is an arrow. So anytime you click and you hit the tab key, you may get this, and you want it to be a tab. If you want it to be a tab instead of an indent, you can do so. If you do something you didn't want to do, it's just a matter of going up here in this orange undo button, the arrow pointing backwards. So I can undo that. And now notice it's not a tab anymore, it's actually moved over, an indent. So notice the difference here in our ruler. When I look at this particular line, it's indented. When I go down to this particular line, it's tabbed, and the first line stays there. The first line indicator stays there. So these are two different things, and notice nothing shows for this indent. So that'll be useful in the future when we talk about indenting and how to control indenting. So I can turn the non-printing characters on and off for the look that I'm after. Down at the bottom, remember, I can zoom in and out of my document, get up close, take it back to where I'm looking at the two pages. There's actually 3 pages here, and I can actually see 3 pages. Can't read it, but I can see how it looks on the page at the moment. Back up to my 100%. Notice you can also do that up here. Change it to 100%. Change it to page width, which in this case would be 152%. Change it to whole page. So you've got a lot of ways that you can look at your document to kind of give an idea of how it's looking in its format sense. If I go down to my different options for view and pick full screen view, this is what you get. It just automatically goes to the full screen. Notice that I can go up here, and I've got this bar up here with basic information that allows me to do some changes, and this one over here is the exit. I can exit out of full screen and return to the print layout view that was there. So that's another one. If you happen to have 2 documents open at the same time, how do you work with that? I'm going to go open another document that I have, and in this case it's Covered Bridges of North America. We're actually going to do this later, but how do I get back to the other document? I've got 2 open. How do I get back to it? Well, if I go down to the dock and click on Microsoft Word icon, notice both documents show up, and I can go back and forth between the 2. So that's one quick, easy way to do that. The other one is to just minimize the document you're on. It'll bring up the other one. When you minimize it, it goes down onto the dock, so you can bring it back up anytime you want to. I'm going to get rid of this one, so I red X that out, bring my document that I'm working on back up. Now, since I've changed this, I need to change the title of this file. So in this case, I'm going to do a file save as. And when I do a file save as, I don't want to use that name anymore. I just want to use Covered Bridges. And then save. And now this is going to change to Covered Bridges, and I'll have both test document and Covered Bridges in that folder. And once again, it's a docx file that we're working with here. If I liked what I had here and I wanted to make it a PDF file, it would be just a matter of going once again to Save As. I want to save it as a PDF. And hit Save button. And Microsoft Word, the Mac automatically create that PDF file. To see it, just a matter of go to your Finder. Go in and find the, down here at the bottom, Work for CIS 120L, and there we have Covered Bridges, the document, and Covered Bridges, the PDF file.